anthropology class, and we were talking about these prints right here at Laetoli, Tanzania. I've talked about them a number of times on this page. But my professor, who was a great guy, but I rubbed him the wrong way because I asked a question about this one, which he made sure that he told us was a bear track, and it was an example of misidentification. And it was considered a hominin track, possibly, and then a study came out that said that it was a bear track, and then these tracks just kind of fell into obscurity. As an Animal Planet kid, I asked one question: where are the claws? My favorite old school Disney movie is The Jungle Book. Remember during the Bare Necessities when Baloo was handling like the prickly pear and he was using his claws? He had those long claws. Bagheera! But we know what bear tracks look like. And, black bears, grizzly bears. Now, what I didn't realize at the time was that the front paw and the back paws look completely different. So I didn't even know at the time that the back paws of bears look so much like human feet. But it's the claws. Look how big they get. And they're digging into the... I had a couple other questions that I'll get to later, but now at this point I knew I had messed up because he was visibly irked. But the look that he had in his eye was like, how dare you question me? I ended up dropping it that day. And me and the professor ended up becoming pretty good friends. I actually think he died last year, so rest in peace. But I did get to see him before he died. It was about 5 years after I graduated when I ran into him at the Field Museum when I was with my uncle and my cousins who were in the bathroom and missed this crazy moment. Because since I graduated, something crazy happened. In December 2021, a paper was published in Nature titled Footprint Evidence of Early Hominin Locomotor Diversity at Laetoli, Tanzania. What the hell does that mean? So hominin, think of hominin like feline. It's like a scientific term for just the general group of animals. So hominin being bipedal apes, okay? So locomotor meaning movement and diversity meaning different. Because boy, oh boy, wouldn't you have it, mysterious footprints in Tanzania made by early humans, not bears. Shocker. Study shows that multiple species of hominins coexisted there 3.7 million years ago. Because Mary Leakey, one of the goats of anthropology, at the time that these tracks were discovered, she said that they were hominin tracks, and then that study later came out and said that they were bear tracks, and her word fell into obscurity. It's wild how one study can completely end a debate for decades. The way that Dr. McNutt and his team proved that they were not bear tracks was by looking at over 50 hours of footage of bears just existing. We recorded 50.9 hours of video of wild American black bear behavior. Unsupported bipedal posture and locomotion occurred only in 0.09% of the total observation time. That's 2.74 minutes, and they weren't even consecutive. Tracking is one of the oldest sciences ever, if not the oldest ever. So I can't understand how we got this wrong for so long. Anyone can understand anything, so if you can explain it to me in a way that I can understand, please let me know. But the last point I'll go into is if you look at the scale up here, right? So 10 centimeters, I took out my ruler and kind of matched this up to this. The average height of the Australopithecines was 1.2 to 1.4 meters tall, or 3'11" to 4'7". Here's the kicker. I'm 6'3", which is like 190-ish centimeters, and I wear a size 13. Human body ratios say that the human foot is about 15% of your height. So I'm about 70 to 80% taller than the average Australopithecine. But their feet were much larger in proportion to their body. I don't know, I just think that's interesting, because the proportions stay the same for the most part, all the way through up until us. We get these smaller feet, they're more gracile, they are biomechanically different. We haven't found anything like it in the fossil record. So fast forward to 2023, this paper came out in 2021. I'm at the Field Museum with my uncle and my two cousins. They go to the bathroom. I'm waiting by the gift shop, waiting for them to come out. Then I hear a familiar voice like, well, well, well. I turn around and it's that professor. Now, this paper came out and a number of other papers came out that vindicated me on other topics that I just didn't have the proof for. But I did have, I was armed with the knowledge that he gave me. And I made these arguments based on what he taught me. And he, in many cases, went out of his way to humiliate me in front of the class. Now, again, I have tons of respect for this gentleman, especially, he's passed away, he can't defend himself. He was the first person that made me value the skill of presenting your ideas in a way that isn't just compelling to people that already agree with you. Well, he's like, hey, how's it going? How you been? Da, 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 da. And then he got quiet. Because I know he knows. After we shook each other's hand and hugged, he got quiet. He's like, so, a lot's happened in the past few years, huh? We both laughed. But because he brought it up, I'm like, is this really about to happen? God damn it, it did. He apologized to me. And that, not only did that really feel good, I respected him so much more after that. And, I had a lot of resentment towards him because, he was a big part of why I didn't want to pursue higher education, as in get my PhD, master's, yada, yada, yada. But the passion, the interest never stopped. But that was definitely a moment that gave me hope in humanity. Because we're so focused on being right all the time, it's created this environment where people are more than willing to forgive you for being wrong. They will never forgive you for being right. Just look at Julian Assange. I'm Java, this is Gabademics.